All right, yo, what is going on, guys? Flamebreaker here, and welcome to the monthly series where I tell you what games are coming out in a specific month in a specific year. Today, we got October 2025, and we got some really good releases coming out this month. So, yeah, if you guys want to see more of this content in the future, be sure to like and sub, and let's get into it. So first on our list, on the second, is Ghost of Yotei, the long-awaited sequel for Ghost of Tsushima, and this is pretty different from the original. I'm not gonna say it's like completely different because obviously I haven't played the game yet because at the time I'm recording this, it's the first. So essentially, you play as this girl named Atsu. And just a quick note, this is not a direct sequel to Ghost of Tsushima because this story is set like over 300 years after the events of Ghost of Tsushima. This is Ghost of Tsushima took place in like 1274, I think that's what it was, and this game takes place in the 1600s. So, yeah, definitely a bit of a time gap there. But either way, this game essentially you play as a girl named Atsu, like I mentioned, and you go after this group called the Yotei Six, who brutally murdered her family and left her for dead when she was a child. And in this game, as you may have seen, there are a bunch of new weapons, such as teppos, literal guns, in this like almost like muskets or like shotguns, something like that. There's throwable swords, apparently, maybe kind of like tantos, I guess. There's dual swords. There's that big sword that you saw earlier. You also have a different instrument than before. In Ghost of Tsushima, Jin had a flute, or at least something like it. I think it was a flute. But in this game, you have like a guitar, kind of like a banjo style thing. I'm not sure specifically what it's called. But yeah, there's this. And I believe this game is a PS5 exclusive. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it's a PS5 exclusive. So yeah, this game looks absolutely great. If you are a fan of Assassin's Creed or Ghost of Tsushima or just Japan in general, kind of like ninja stuff, this will definitely be the game for you. Now that I'm seeing this trailer, I might pick it up myself day one, but who knows? Let's move on to the next game. Next on our list is quite a controversial one. This is Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 for the Nintendo Switch. Now, the thing with this game, like, well, both of these games, because they're two like separate ones. So these games are like nearly 20 years old. Mario Galaxy came out in 2007, and then I'm not actually sure when Mario Galaxy 2 came out, but it's been a while. And generally, when that happens, games go down in price. Now, remasters do happen. And obviously, there are like all kinds of good games that have had phenomenal remasters. And remasters are generally very good, like the Oblivion remake or the Silent Hill 2 remake. Those have all been pretty successful, and fans always do like it when that happens. And generally, it kind of makes more sense for it to cost the same amount as like, current market prices if they're entirely new remasters and everything. But supposedly that is not the case with this. This is a port of both games. So supposedly this game is like not a remaster at all. It's just a port with some more motion controls or something like that. Some more Rosalina storybook images as seen right now, and like some higher resolution. But that's about it. It doesn't really look as good as like something like Odyssey, for example. And the worst part is they're charging $70 for this. Like current market price for this. I'm I've tried to be nice to Nintendo, but I'm going to call a spade here. It is hard to be nice to them or like polite or whatever when they do stuff like this. Now, obviously, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the games. The games have been very well received, and a lot of people are happy about this. But at the same time, $70 for a port, it's for especially like nearly 20-year-old games, like come on, man. Now, I don't really know if this is because they're like putting their entire budget into the new Mario Tennis game or the Virtual Boy Nintendo Classics catalog or something like that. I don't even know, but I just feel like they should be doing more. Maybe do something kind of like Sonic X Shadow Generations, where you remaster the game and then add like a whole new like story or whatever to it. But yeah, I guess this is not the case. But I mean, it comes out on October 2nd, so it just seems a little lazy to be honest, but let's move on to the next game. Coming on the 10th is not a game, but an update because Daredevil is finally being added to Marvel Rivals and he looks peak. His kit looks absolutely awesome. He can do stuff like this. He's got like the like Sonic Pursuit where you can like see enemies through walls. He's got a quick little like kind of like nunchuck spin. He's got like a kind of a homing style thing with his batons and all of that. This is just there is like so much to this kit, and then obviously you got his ultimate, which looks like it gives him for one it blinds enemies slowly, so that's one thing. But also looks like it gives him overheal and like increased healing or something like that. And I'm just not noticing he has fire charges like right here. So I think is that part of his yeah, hold on, wait, there's one right here that takes two. So I guess that's like his like swing down batons or and then like slash at them or something like that. But yeah, either way, you already know I'm gonna make a video on this. Daredevil looks absolutely amazing. I know people have said that like Marvel Rivals has too many duelists, but I am personally so happy they made him a duelist because it works perfectly for him. He's meant to be fast. He's meant to be, swinging around the city quickly, attacking quickly, and, just dealing with his enemies quickly. He's all about skill. He doesn't rely a whole lot on strength, per se. He's meant to be a very skilled fighter, or doing all sorts of, like, quick attacks and everything. So yeah, like I said, again, this comes out on the 10th, and again, I'm going to be making a video about this. It'll probably be next week. I don't know, actually. But yeah, let's move on to the next game. Also on the 10th, we have Battlefield 6. Now, this is like quite a crazy occurrence because it feels like I think it was like 2014 or something like that, where Battlefield 1 had just came out or like was going to come out, and we had a new trailer for the new Call of Duty game. I think it was Advanced Warfare or something like that. And people were playing Battlefield, which was huge for them because Call of Duty and Battlefield have kind of like had like a kind of Sega Nintendo kind of rivalry since they're both like first person shooter war games. And Battlefield hasn't always, had the best track record, but for this, they're actually doing good. Fans love the beta that came out a little bit ago. I don't remember when it came out specifically, and I never got a chance to play it, but it was incredibly well received. I think it may have been the most played Battlefield ever. So fans are extremely excited for this, and if you pay a little attention to the start of this trailer right here, so Call of Duty has been notoriously known, especially nowadays, for adding cosmetics that don't fit the game. So as a kind of a middle finger to them, EA paid these four celebrities to come out here just to get blown up. Hold on, wait, there it is. Yeah. Yeah. So the point of it was kind of just like unlike, Call of Duty, they're focusing on actual soldiers. Now, will they add crossovers? I don't know. But given this trailer, if they were to add crossovers, I'd imagine they would make a whole lot more sense than the kind of things we've been getting in like Call of Duty, like Nicki Minaj for some ungodly reason. Maybe we get someone like Rambo in this game, which would make a ton of sense. Or maybe, I don't know, someone like Daryl Dixon, maybe? I know they've both been in Call of Duty, but, you know, lately they've been focusing on, stuff that doesn't fit, like I said. But yeah, again, this comes out on the 10th, and I don't know, I might make a video on it. We'll see. Another one that comes out on the 10th is Little Nightmares 3. So, I'm gonna be honest, I am not a whole like extremely familiar with the Little Nightmares series. I've played a little bit of 2, but I'm not like, like a crazy like super fan and all of that. I haven't played enough of it. So essentially, you play as these two characters named Low and Alone, and you're trapped in this kind of like spiral thing, and you have to like collect disturbing pictures or something like that in order to help you escape or something like that. I think that's how it goes. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, essentially, kind of all the Little Nightmares games have been. It almost reminds me of Coraline. You get to like traverse like a really small world with all these like giant people, kind of like monsters in them. It kind of has like a similar kind of claymation. Kind of looks like it. It has that kind of feel to it. And yeah, here we go, October 10th, 2025. This is a really popular franchise, and it's just one I haven't fully gotten into yet. So if you want to see a video on me playing Little Nightmares 3 or maybe some of the older ones, let me know in the comments down below and I'll consider it. But yeah, it looks like this game is going to be multiplayer. If I had to guess, I would say this game is definitely multiplayer. But yeah, let's move on to the next game. On the 16th, we're getting Pokemon Legends ZA. So, yeah, we're finally getting a whole new Pokemon game after Nintendo has gone to town with all these ridiculous lawsuits and patents. I am God. This is another kind of thing where it is extremely hard to be polite to these people cuz God, I just want to crash out right now. But overall, I mean, the Pokemon games are good. That's not what the issue is. The issue is just Nintendo. They're just very. Ugh. To put it simply, they don't like competition. I feel like that's a pretty polite way to say it. And they had a whole thing with Pal World, which was a game that was similar to it, and they basically had a whole bunch of patents, which basically means it is illegal to make a game that has the feature. So, for example, they patented throwing a circular object and capturing animals. So, yeah, if anyone else uses that, it's apparently illegal and you got to go to the courtroom. And I don't think Nintendo really sees what they're doing with this. This is literally ruining creativity. I know we're supposed to be talking about the games here, but the amount of crap they have pulled for literally no reason, and in turn will probably like help ruin the industry even more than it already has been, is just ridiculous. Again, I am trying to be nice. I am trying to hold back everything I want to say to these people. But I mean, it comes out on the 16th if you want to play it. I mean, the game looks good, it's just kind of, for me at least, it's kind of awkward to think about this while there's still all this ridiculous patent and lawsuit thing going on. But yeah, let's move on to the next game. On the 21st, we are getting Ninja Gaiden 4. So you play as a new character in this game called Yakumo, and this is a near future kind of Tokyo experience where the Dark Dragon or Black Dragon, something like that, returns, and it causes some like catastrophic event called the Dark Rain. I I've said this before. I'm not a whole like entirely familiar with the Ninja Gaiden games, but it almost looks like Ghost Runner, to be honest. It looks kind of similar to that, almost like kind of Ghost Runner meets Devil May Cry. So that would be really cool. All the blood looks spectacular. Kind of looks like the Wolverine game and that Insomniac's making. So you can use all sorts of crazy gadgets like freaking Nexo Knight's arms. You gotta battle freaking Metal Gear Rising looking bosses and everything. Like a one armed space samurai or something like that. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm not like laughing at the game. This looks absolutely awesome. So obviously, you get the regular protagonist that's been in there, Ryu on the right, and I'm guessing this kind of means that Yakumo is going to be trained by him or something like that. Maybe they come into conflict with each other, something like that. But yeah, this game comes out on the 21st, like I said. Let's move on to our last game. So, Plants vs. Zombies is going back to its roots, no pun intended. So, this is Plants vs. Zombies Replanted, and it is a remaster of the first game with new visuals and new content as well. This is a proper remaster, Nintendo. So yeah, blooming in HD, obviously, classic kind of remaster stuff. You got all the you can play it co-op, which I don't know was a feature in the original game. I think it was. And yeah, so you can do local PvP or PvE, and yeah, I think it's like zombie friend not included. Okay, that's pretty funny. So I think there was supposed to be more game modes in this. I don't think they have that in this trailer. But yeah, this game comes out on the 23rd, and yeah, those are all 8 games that I'm going to talk about today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, as always, be sure to like and sub, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.